Okay, well, I'm joined by Robbie Simpson for his monthly off-season catch-up, and we haven't spoken to you since the last game, just after the last game of last season. What's your thoughts on the season coming to an end?
I think it's disappointing. We wanted to carry on playing football and do what we do. So it's disappointing. I think all the lads are bored now at home. It's tough, but I think we understand why it's been null and void. I guess it did seem the timing was a bit weird, etc., and the whole handling of it from start to finish. I think everyone agreed could have been better, but we are where we are now, and it gives us some more time to plan for next season. And next season's start date came out the other week, so that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, and you've already started planning for next season, mainly all departures so far. We'll start off with Anthony Church, probably the main news. Been at chumps of 5 seasons, captain for most of it.
Great guy, great player. It's just, that's the thing. And football moves on, and we thank him so much for everything he's given, which he has. He's given everything to the football club, and I know he was desperate to have a promotion on his CV, having getting so close to the club on a couple of occasions, but it wasn't meant to be. And I fully expect Churchy to, wherever he goes, to be a real leader in that dressing room and in a really good team, because he's a good player.
And talking about a leader, he's our club captain, so that's another decision that needs to be made for next season. A new captain.
Yeah, it's already been decided. I think we're just waiting for paperwork to be signed, really, before we make announcements. I've spoken to every existing player now, and there's a couple that I've just been honest with and said, look, I don't know yet. I haven't thought enough about whether I wanted to keep you or not, or there's different challenges as well, where it be logistically, where they live, or etc. It's there's a lot more that goes into it other than football. Unfortunately, at this level, you've got to consider work, family, location. You've got to consider everything, and then finances come into it, obviously. And we've spoken to a few players that we really want to keep, but they've had fantastic offers from other sides, and we wouldn't be able to compete financially, but they're still thinking about staying, which just goes to show what we're building here is great. The fact that they're even considering it, and we hope they do. But I think inevitably, I think that's the most disappointing thing from the whole season, really. The fact that we've brought a new team together, a new young team. We haven't been able to socialise outside of football at all. It's literally turn up to training, train, go home, not even allowed to change or eat with each other after training, and certainly not allowed to socialise, etc. And inevitably at the end of the season, teams disperse. Some leave, some stay, others come in, and it's disappointing that we haven't been able to spend more time with each other, because they really, every single one of them it is just a great group of lads that we had. And I guess now it's my job to build a squad again that's full of, first and foremost, great people that want to be at this club and want to achieve things at this club, and then hopefully you can build some real team camaraderie, and hopefully get more socialising together to build that up, because we're going to need that with the financial restraints that we've got now. We're going to need to be really together, and not just as a squad, actually, a club as a whole, fans, board, players, everybody needs to be really behind each other and supportive of each other, because undoubtedly there will be tough times. Undoubtedly, when you start something new, when there's change, there's always a bit of pain. But if you can see that end picture and the end goal, and everyone's together building for it, then something special could happen.
Okay. There's a few other players left. Elliot Omozusi was another mainstay, former captain, but has been injured all season. It's been unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I was gutted for him when he went down in training. Literally, first week in September, he went down injured, and he knew it was a bad one because no one was anywhere near him. So yeah, gutted for him, but he's the type of character that you just love having around. Anyway, he's so infectious and he demands. He's a real demanding character in training and matches, and we'll help him continue his rehab. By the way, he won't be going anywhere. But I think we both knew that I wouldn't be able to offer him anything given the injury, and we don't know how he's going to come back from that. But we'll certainly support him all we can rehab wise.
Another player that was injured for a lot of spell, unfortunately, was Billy Crook. I'm going to miss his Roy Hodgson impression. So.
Yeah, I think the lads are too. He always drops in a voice note in there, Roy. And yeah, he's another one. Like, we signed him because he was such a good player. I didn't realise what good character he was as well. But yeah, it's just every time we seem to have got him fit and ready to give him a run of games and be a real influence on the team, he just got another niggly injury. And yeah, it's one of those ones where you've stuck by him, again with Elliot as well, you stick by him the whole season to get him fit, and then you've got a decision to make that you've put a year in essentially of tough times. Should you stick with them and reap the rewards from you sticking by them in the tough times, or do you make the decision to cut loose just in case the injuries, he doesn't come back as well as you'd hope from the injury? And really, really tough decisions, those. And I remember my old manager, Paul Tisdale, speaking about Barry Corr in the same sense. He was injured for most of the season, and when he wasn't injured, he was suspended. And he ended up letting him go in the summer because he had to. He couldn't justify keeping him. And he then played for Southend the next season, fully fit, was top goal scorer in the league, and they got promoted. So, yeah, but even him looking back now, he said, I couldn't have kept him. I just couldn't have kept him. And that's kind of the similar situation with Elliot and Billy, unfortunately. Both great players at this level, but I just couldn't justify offering them a new deal based on this season.
And then Adam Liddle, unfortunately, didn't see a lot of him, but I suppose the travel was a lot for him to deal with because he lives quite a way away from Chelmsford. Yeah,
I think pre-season when the roads were clear and everyone was in lockdown and it was fine for him, he flew. But yeah, as the sort of winter football came into fruition, it was tough traveling from where he was traveling, and we weren't getting the best out of him, and he was probably getting frustrated as well. So yeah, it's just one of those. He's a good young player, real good young talent, and I fully expect him to have a good career in the game and even get back into the Football League because he's got pace and he can score a goal. He's a good finisher, but yeah, it just doesn't fit, unfortunately, with logistically where he lives.
And a couple of players that had been out on loan, unfortunately, it probably worked against them, that they didn't have much chance to show what they could do out on loan. Andy Fennell and Cadell Fraser-Robinson. It would have helped if they'd had a good long loan spell.
Yeah, when they have played, they've actually both performed quite well. But like you said, it's tough because we wanted them to go out on loan and regain their form or show us that they're ready to play for Chelsea City's first team next season. And a bit less so with Andy because he's been in and around it anyway, but certainly with Cadell. But like you say, with their season being curtailed, it wasn't really a season to showcase that. And again, another tough call because we've kind of lost a year, which is disappointing. You've lost a year of development or lost a year of watching someone, and they're a year older. So yeah, tough decisions again, but yeah, tough decisions that I have to make.
That must be quite hard in the market as well, because normally you'd be looking at sort of players in the leagues below that have impressed, but they've not played since October or November.
Yeah, recruitment's going to be even tougher this year for us, without doubt. But I do think that there will be a lot of fallout from the leagues above. So I think the key word is patience this year. Definitely, I think we have to be patient and we have to wait for the right person, right personality, and the right player to bring in. So yeah, we're certainly not going to rush in. It's still, I mean, we're not even in April yet. So yeah, we're starting early, which is good. But at the same time, we need to be patient.
Yeah, and it's been announced yesterday that Steve Pitt has left as well after 5 years. You brought him back to help you with the transition. He's been a great servant to the club.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. Can't thank him enough. I really can't. And yeah, his contacts alone really at this level are well worth anybody's time. And he's a great guy, and we really wish him well wherever he goes next.
And are you going to be bringing in extra coaching staff or director of football as he was?
To be decided. Obviously, budget restraints might curtail that. We might. It's a decision. Do we replace that, or do we use it as an extra bit on the playing budget? So yeah, still to be decided.
Okay. And when does the players come back for pre-season training?
So officially, I've said the start date is July the 1st. I think the season starts a week later than usual. But July the 1st will give us a good enough run-in time. But obviously, because the season stopped early, it means the off-season as such is going to be a lot longer. So I know the players will do stuff themselves in their own time in the off-season, but we might put on a few optional training sessions before that July the 1st.
Okay. And we'll move on to some other things. Some fans are they were going to walk to our game at Hungerford, the second last game of the season, but they're taking on an undertaking from Land's End to Winchester over a week in May. It's a great effort from those guys, Robin. Another one of their madcap adventures they always do every year for charity.
Yeah, amazing. I've got to say the supporters club, even the fundraising that they do is amazing. Their support is amazing anyway, but the fact that they take themselves out of their comfort zone and raise funds for the football club, it's what non-league football's all about. The fans are the club, and we're really, really thankful to them, and we'll support them all the way.
And then just finally, your former teammate at Exeter, Ollie Watkins, scoring on his England debut. He did play against Chelmsford for Western-super-Mare back in 2015 as well. So did you teach him all he knows?
Yeah, I did. Everything. Yeah, I texted him in the morning, and he texted me back about 5 o'clock. So he must have been on the coach on the way to Wembley, and said thank you. I just said, look, if you get on, good luck. And I could see as soon as he came on, he was desperate to touch the ball. I could see him dropping deeper, and then obviously at the side they were telling him to stay up, but he just wanted a touch of the ball. And I don't think he touched the ball for at least 10 minutes after coming on. And I was really nervous watching it, actually. Every time he touched the ball, I was like, please do well, please do well. And yeah, for him to score, I know, I saw in his interview afterwards, he was very emotional, very, very emotional. It's a hell of a rise, but I think everybody at Exeter could see that he had that potential. And it just goes to show, like you say, playing at Western-super-Mare 6 years ago, playing at Western-super-Mare, and then scoring on your England debut. He's probably not the only scenario where that's happened. So if any of our young players need the belief that it can happen, if you work hard and you're dedicated and you listen and you're easily coachable, it is achievable for you. And I'm sure he'll be a shining light for every non-league player that wants to play for their country.
Yeah, he didn't score against Chelmsford, so we kept out an England international at least.
Brilliant.
Okay, thanks, Robbie. Great to catch up with you, and we'll speak again during the off season.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Cheers,
Okay.
mate.